right, guys, welcome back to the Short Story Long podcast. I'm your host, Sam Derrickson, joined by my co-host, Andrew Dial.
Hello, everybody.
We're back on the video,
Yes.
and you may have noticed that our intro music has changed.
There's been a lot of changes.
You bear with us. This is a learning experience. We're probably going to have to cut that intro music down. That was way too
That
long.
was a lot of music.
That was a lot of music.
It needs
so,
to fade out about halfway through.
yeah, maybe I'll just fade it with the slider
Wicka, wicka.
and introduce ourselves. All right. So
Here we go.
here we go. Long story short, fuck video podcast. The end. Thanks for joining us.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks for riding with us.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Fusa.
I'll try to
Do
summarize
you need a
this.
tea or something and take a little the edge
I-
off?
I do, but I don't.
Okay.
So I'll try to summarize this as best I can. So be careful what you wish for. I put out there that I would do a video podcast if someone did the hard part for me. And then Rebecca reached out and she said, I'll do the hard part for you.
Bluff was called.
Bluff was called. So, all right, she edited the video. She did an amazing job. I can't even slight her in the least. I mean, she bought the equipment. We got the equipment set up. She did all the hard work. Spent all the money. Did all the hard work. Well, turns out, I was misinformed several years ago when we first started this podcast. So I still need to do more research on it, but basically I was using a third-party hosting service to host the podcast, and then that service distributed it to all of the podcast listening channels. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, all the things. YouTube, all of them. And, that was $90 a year, I think. And I could swallow that $90 a year just to sit down here and drink beer with my buddies, you know. Then they wanted an upgrade of their services to host a video podcast. Obviously, there's a lot more bandwidth, a lot more cloud storage that comes along with a video. And I looked into that, and through Podbean, which was who was hosting it, it was $60 a month. Okay. And I thought, I enjoy the podcast, but I don't enjoy it $720 a year. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this isn't happening. And for whatever reason, I explored the Spotify option, and Spotify will host your podcast for free. Maybe because I'm a premium member, I don't know, but I was like, well, shit, I like free. So I clicked on the Spotify, all the for creators, all the things, and it was like, hey, we'll do this for you, but you got to transfer your URL, hosting, all the things over to Spotify. Okay, just 2 buttons. Click here, done deal. No big deal. Uploaded the video. It played great for, I don't know, a week probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I got an email and another email and another email. 36 in total for copyright infringement. Even though we make negative dollars on this podcast, if you use copyrighted music at all, then they flag it and they take it down. So you may have noticed that several episodes, 36 to be exact, are no longer available to listen. So it's about an hour process to go through and re-edit all those podcasts. And it's something I want to do, but I've just been busy with life and stuff. So haven't got there. So that's why the intro music has changed, because the intro music I was using was from Unwritten Law. And I was always told that as long as it's like under 15 seconds or under 30 seconds, they don't flag you for copyright. Well, then I started Googling, researching. Turns out if you use even 1 second of copyrighted material, then it's grounds for a case against you. That's just like a kind of like an unwritten rule, you know, like if I buy a truck from you and you write me a bill of sale, I have 24 hours to get it home without a license plate. That's not true.
Okay.
You know, did you know that?
No, I
Oh,
thought that was gospel.
no, it is absolutely false. You actually have to go to the DMV, tell them, I'm going to Dozer's house to buy a truck from him. I need a temporary tag from the DMV. So, like, you have to have the VIN, you have to have the sale, you have to do all the paperwork in advance before you even go look at the truck.
We have driven so many vehicles illegally then.
Exactly. So,
and we'll continue to do so.
Right, and it's a gray area. You know, a cop's like, it's a, you know, I'll let you buy. I'm not gonna arrest you, but you picked the wrong cop on the wrong day, he can impound the vehicle. I mean, it's illegal to drive without a registration. So, all that to say, we are done using music on this podcast, which sucks because I like music. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, and apparently hosting it on Spotify tripped all the right.
I'm sure it was all AI caught.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure it is, but at least somebody's listening to our podcast, AI or not, you know. So, super long story short, I still wanted to, like, when this all went down, I was like,
oh man, he was livid.
I was not.
I didn't even know it was happening. Joe Gasper sent me and Sam a group message, said, "Hey, what happened to your latest episode? I was listening to it, and it's gone." And Sam messages back, basically, "This fucking podcast is over. Fuck video podcast. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not talking about it. The podcast is done." So I'm just like, okay. So I didn't even talk to you about it.
So
I didn't even call or text because I knew better.
So, you know, when I'm busy and you call, what are you doing? Working. That I was extremely busy that day. Nothing was going right to begin with my day-to-day job. And then my hobby is throwing fits in the background, and I've got a group message, how come the podcast is So that was why my attitude was so bad.
I feel like it was a Sunday, but maybe it wasn't.
I was I remember I was on my truck because I had the whole list of 36 podcasts printed out. I was on my tool truck.
Okay.
Anyway, super long story short, the whole reason we did this podcast to begin with was to have a posterity heirloom type thing. And that's going to remain viable, but I have to go they still exist. They're just not for public consumption or whatever you want to say. So in order to make them back to where you can listen to them again, I have to go basically delete all the sound.
They're still on Podbean. If you go to Podbean and look up our podcast, all the deleted episodes are still on Podbean.
You can listen to them on Podbean.
On Podbean.
Okay.
Yes. They're not anywhere else, but if you go to Podbean itself, you can listen to them. So I went and downloaded my grandpa's to the server at Jedco.
Okay. So basically, all those past episodes, I'm just going to delete the sound. So there's going to be no intro music, no outro music, no nothing. It's just going to be welcome to the pod. You know what I mean? So this that's going to take me almost an hour an episode to do that. You know, if I wanted to add different music, now we're talking 2+ hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just get them out there because I do like going back and listening.
Me too.
Like I listened to our latest episode and then it auto played to August of last year before my Alaska trip, and I really enjoyed listening to it because I'm like, I think it's going to be like this, and I've heard it's going to be. I didn't have any idea, you know. I know now, you know. I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna float. We're gonna kill caribou and float out. Like, wrong. All the rivers flow away from the road.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know. And then the ones that flow to the road are ditches. You know, they all look the same on the map. But anyway, it was just funny because it was like, I think it's going to be like this. And it was just fun listening to the ignorant optimist, you know, before this hunt. So So I hope you do. I don't know if there's any way I can even help at all, but I do.
It's just time.
Right. It's one of those, I guess, if you did one a week and half a year, you would be done with it, but that sounds bad when I say it like that. Maybe you should do one before lunch and one after lunch.
Oh God.
So yeah, that's the latest. I actually for a while was telling people, I was like, podcast is over.
Podcast is done.
Because Sam was Brick had a pretty funny had a mouthful of white dog shit or something, or belly full of white dog shit is what she said.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know if she had a saying for it, but I was like, well, I told Sam, I was like, we need to do one more and just tell everybody what happened and think, and then we're just done. And
I think we'll continue to do
this is
them.
not that podcast, I guess.
This is now a different podcast. Same name, same players, different podcast.
Just different vibe. I've not been writing down shit Wyatt says, dude. He's got so many all the time. But
you're well, in your defense, you thought you were done.
Yeah.
Sharing shit Wyatt says.
So the only thing I have written down for this podcast is the rules of thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you probably don't have much of a list, if any.
I have some. I got to go back and find them.
But I figure if I start with mine, there's going to come to mine for you. So.
Well, we badmouth my sister for not writing in.
Okay.
And she did. Episode 66, the first video episode. Hey guys, I'm still here and listening. Like everyone else out there, we've had some rough patches lately at our house that have been consuming all my sparkle and pizzazz. We're slowly recovering, and I'm sure I'll be back to emailing you weekly with ridiculous stories and questions soon. As for the episode, how do listeners watch the video? I listened to your podcast on Podcast Addict, and there is no video option or link. See attached screenshot. Love you. So, from what I understand, I've never listened on Podcast Addict, but your podcast hosting, your podcast viewing site, whatever you decide, has to allow for video podcast. So I know Apple Podcast does not, Spotify does, YouTube does. So the only two places I've seen it, even though it's gone now, is YouTube and Spotify. Spotify, my settings are no video podcast without Wi-Fi because it drains so much of your 4G or 5G or whatever. So when I'm at my work, when I'm connected to Wi-Fi on my phone, like Joe Rogan's podcast, John Deloney's podcast, they're all video podcasts, but it's all audio until I have Wi-Fi. And I've noticed since I've updated Spotify, there's a little button
that says go to audio only.
Yeah, go to see the video. Like, so it like times out for a few seconds, but that's kind of cool. And honestly, one of the reasons I didn't give a damn about the video podcast is because I don't give a damn about any video podcast. I mean, even Joe Rogan, the only time is like if he's like, "Hey, bring it up, Jamie, bring it up," and I'm like, "Okay, I got to see what this is about," But yeah, but I don't have a big screen TV and a freaking genius behind the computer bringing stuff up. Hey, Jamie, bring that up. Like, that would be cool if I had $1 billion, but I do not.
I don't think it takes $1 billion. Statistically,
it takes more money than I got. So, before we get into rules of thumb, is there anything you want to tell the listeners of like what's new?
We've been getting a lot of snow.
We have been getting quite a bit of snow. I used my steel snowblower the other day, and as much as I was pimping it up, it was pretty well less than impressive. But we'll say it took less time to blow my driveway than it does to shovel my driveway, because I have a big fucking driveway.
Oh, old braggadocio.
And to shovel it by hand takes like 2 hours. And I was out there for 20 minutes, used the whole tank fuel, but blew it pretty clean. And then it promptly started to snow again, and you couldn't even tell that I did it. So, yeah, that sucks. But we did get snow, and if it's going to be cold, I want it to snow.
We've had our whole winter's worth of snow already, and it's not even technically winter yet.
Right.
So I like snow. It's fine with me. I don't know what's new. I don't know, just lots of deer hunting and busy at work and busy.
It's your busy time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, kind of quit doing the Boy Scouts thing. Emma and Wyatt are both doing bow shooting now. Wyatt did football. I don't know if I ever talked about Wyatt playing flag football, but I don't know.
I don't know if you talked about it on the podcast or not, but
Anyway,
I did go to one of his games.
There's not that much talk. I thought I would hate it. And
Flag football?
Well, like watching it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like boring. But then, like, I got into it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I looked forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are football nights, the same as like when we used to shoot skeet after work or
No
five
kidding.
stand. Like,
No
I was just
kidding.
excited about it all day, and like I'd like get into it and. You know, someone happened to be like, "Oh no," you know, and then my wife looked at me like, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't care," you know.
So what did it for me was I watched a lot of rec league soccer, and it's like herding cats. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of fun to watch all those little kids out there kicking the soccer ball, and they get into it like big time. But as an adult, it's just like, oh, we lost. Oh no, let's go get ice cream. You know what I mean? But then seeing the coaches get into it at the flag football game, I was like, holy cow. And then the cool thing was they give all the teams like actual pro NFL teams.
Yes.
Like, that's cool. Like, what, he's the Vikings, right?
He was
like,
the Vikings.
Yeah. Like that's pretty cool, you know? And like, I disagree with some of the rules, but
yeah, it's kind of.
I understand why they have the rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no linemen. They have pass only zones. There's only one first down, which is the middle of the field. The whole no linemen, no rush. I don't know.
They're little kids. They are little kids.
Yeah.
So is he
this dinger off here?
Is he gonna get into tackle football then?
Oh, he can't wait.
How soon is that?
If you can't run and you can't throw and you can't catch, there's not much room for you on a team with no linemen.
Sure.
So, if fourth grade, he's second grade now. So fourth grade, you can start playing tackle football.
Okay.
And he can't wait. But then I told him, I was like, you got to run when you play tackle football in practice. What do you mean? It's the conditioning. You got to get in shape. Well, what sport do I have to not run in? I said, I don't know, maybe golf. Perfect. I'll do golf. Never played golf a day in his life.
There's a lot of local schools that have fishing teams and trap teams.
Yes.
That was never an option when I was in school.
No.
And both of those require zero running. So just throwing that out there, Wyatt.
Little running wouldn't kill anybody.
Well, that's true. That is true. Speaking of a little running, I've got a formal event coming up in January for work. And I have been told a couple of times by my fiance, you need to go try your suit on because I lost a little bit of weight. And it's a tent on me. So she's like, you need to go to Kohl's and buy new clothes. And I went to Kohl's, but I don't buy my clothes at Kohl's. I just try my clothes on at Kohl's and then I order them off of Amazon because the same part number suit jacket at Kohl's is $170 is $69.99 on Amazon. So $110 off. Like, I'll go ahead and buy that. So Amanda doesn't listen, so I'm not worried about her, but she's like, that's different. It is a different, you get a different stuff from Amazon. And I was like, it's the same part number. Like, I could return this Amazon one to Kohl's. This UPC is the same. And she's like, oh, it's different. So anyway, all that to say, I needed new pants, new jacket, and a new shirt. Well, all my shirts upstairs are extra large. So I go to Kohl's and I try on a large, which has, I have like a 35-inch arm, or how do they measure shirts? And I always had 17.5-inch neck. Well, the large was 16.5-inch neck and a 36 or 35-inch arm, and it was too big. So I put on a fit into a medium.
Medium. You had been in a medium at one point.
A long
Yeah.
time ago. So I have a 15.5-inch neck and a 34-inch arm. And I went from a 40-inch pant down to a 36-inch pant and a 44 jacket down to a 40 jacket.
Impressive.
So feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
Feeling
look
pretty
great.
good. So I ordered that, and then the last podcast that is now down, a couple of people reached out to me about a architect for my barn door. And after that podcast, before it even aired, I had reached out to the same lady that did Cody's pool house. Is that what he calls it?
I guess.
His shed, the shed that he lives in that has granite windowsills. The lady that drew that is drawing my barn door, Kim Miller, out of Beecher City. So far, loving what she's doing. It's not at all what I had envisioned when I first thought what we were going to do. But I went out, measured the property, the space that we had, and decided that my initial kind of layout wasn't going to work. And then we had Gary out there, and he's like, if you put your garage here, like, you like pull into it, that's fine. But like, how are you going to backing out of your driveway and turning 270 degrees to go to the road? Like, you don't want to do that. So we changed the plan there, put the garage over here, and we're basically building a stick-built house with tin siding. Like, it is not a pole barn.
Right.
It is just a like, you might as well put fucking siding on it. But she wants the tin, so I guess maybe that's a little cheaper, but not really.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I don't know.
But she wants a dormer the size of the whole front of my house, because you can't have a flat roof because it looks dumb. Because she wants it to look like a barn, but not a flat roof barn. I don't know. So basically, like we've always said, women despise money.
Just hate it.
They want to get rid of it as quick as humanly possible. So, but then on the flip side of things, she's like, "Oh, we don't need that." Like, okay,
And we don't. Yeah.
all right. So anyway, enough about that.
Don't try to understand it, my man.
Never can, never will.
So, rules of thumb. I'll just start with my list here.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So when I thought of this was kind of Rebecca's idea.
Okay.
She sent it in a Snapchat thing of ideas for episodes probably 2 years ago. Not even joking.
Okay.
So, if a man says he's going to do something, there ain't no sense in reminding him every 6 months. He's going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So here we are. So when I thought of this, or when I read it, or idea, I was thinking it's just stuff that, like, when you're figuring up something, it's just in your head. You just know, like, that's how you judge if something's a good deal or not. You know what I mean? So the first one is, if you're buying a rental house, you want to be able to rent that house for 1% of its value per month. So if you buy $100,000 house, you want to be able to rent it for $1,000.
Sure.
So whenever you're looking for a rental house, if it's a $90,000 house, can I rent this for $900 a month? And that would kind of tell you, if it's a $150,000 house and you can only rent it for $800 a month, that's not
a good deal.
Not a good deal.
Right.
So that's that one. Now, like, do it back and forth, or do you want me to just keep going?
Well,
do you have one?
So okay. So all right. So
Okay. All right.
there's obviously going to be exceptions to that.
Well, I suppose. I mean,
So that, like what you said, it's like a rule of
okay,
thumb. Like there's an
rule of thumb,
exception.
there's an exception to everything. All right, my turn.
Okay.
All right. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, is there, like, for instance, like your Cherry Street house, and I don't know the numbers, but let's just throw numbers out there. The house was $110,000. Okay, but you can only rent it for $1,000 a month. but it has a 2-car garage that you're renting to me for $100 a month. So it evens out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not really an exception. It's just you just add it up in the math. It's
Okay.
still the
Okay.
math.
All right. Okay. So that's step one. Step two, let's just say there's a $100,000 house in St. Elmo on 6 acres next to your hunting property. It's only worth $600 a month rent because it's fucking St. Elmo.
Mm-hmm.
But is it worth the spread to have those 6 acres to hunt on?
Well, and it probably is, but you've got to convince the person financing it that you're going to be able to cover that spread.
So this is also the bank's rule of thumb.
I don't think it's necessarily the bank's rule of thumb, but they're going to want to see some sort of profit on it.
Because it's a business loan and you have to have a business plan to
Yeah.
repay that. Okay, I got it.
So, yeah, like my last house, so we had a lot of vacancies, and when we went to buy my neighbor's property, they asked, like, are you, like, however they worded it, they're like, are you comfortable with breaking it? You've been breaking even. Like, are you comfortable with this? And I was just like, well, we had 3 months of vacancies. If those would have been filled, that would have been this much money that went straight to the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not expecting as many vacancies. And they're just like, oh, sounds good. So
then how do you, okay, let's extrapolate that. How do you, this is a bad example for you, but for me, okay, let's pretend I had a couple of rentals and I'm moving to the country, building a house, moving to the country. How do you decide whether to keep this or sell it? Is it the same, like it's worth more to sell than I could rent it out a month? Like if this house is worth 150, can I rent it for 1,500? That's kind of the same math.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. And it's just up to you, I guess. In the end, you got to kind of figure the numbers, because you could refinance. But I assume you have a wildly low mortgage rate. But
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to let you build another house and keep your owner-occupied mortgage. I don't know how all that works.
Me either.
But at the end of the day, most people are like, I don't want to dick with it.
That's exactly where I am, especially with this house. Like I would rent Amanda's house out because it's less of a headache than this house. This house is like when Dave Ramsey says like renting, you're buying time or whatever, like because there's a lot of unexpected expenses that come with owning a house. This house is proof positive. Like there's all kind of shit that you don't expect. Like it's got a brand new heater and air conditioner. It's got brand new water heater. Like,
well, and another thing you could decide is allegedly the bottom's falling out of the housing market.
mm-hmm.
Going to be another crash that makes '08 look like a walk in the park. Because you got all these people have these low interest rates from COVID era.
Pre-COVID, yeah.
But then some of them are on adjustable rates, and we're coming up on the 5-year mark.
Really?
Most of your adjustable rate mortgages are 5 years. So you figure most people probably refinanced a year after COVID, sometime in there. So you got all these people with these houses they overpaid for with low interest rates. Well, if it's adjustable, all these people's shit's going to get adjusted pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a lot of people who can't afford the house they live in, is the theory. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if adjustable rates are as popular now as they were in '08. And a lot of these YouTube and Facebook people, it's all just fear mongering for clicks.
Right.
But supposedly there's a big housing market. So
Amanda refied hers fixed.
Yeah. And I assume if you live in it, it's going to be fixed.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
your Airbnbs and your income
Yes.
properties, those are adjustable. Are any of yours adjustable?
They're all adjustable, except for my personal house.
Really?
They will not give you a fixed on a commercial.
Did not know that.
So,
Learn something new.
and like my house mortgage, they sell off.
Sure.
So all the commercial they keep in house. So
Okay.
that's why it's adjustable. That's why they're a lot more picky about it.
Okay.
That's my understanding on it. And it's a shorter term. You can't get a 30-year mortgage
On an income property.
on a rental house.
Sure. Yeah. I gotcha.
So let's say the bottom falls out in the next 6 months. You could always rent it until it appreciates back to where you want it to be.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
Something like that. And you could find there's always those caveats. You know, you may find someone you know or something that you're comfortable. You know, they're not going to tear it up. You know, if you can pay the mortgage on the place and the property tax and stuff, and hold on to it, not lose. You know, there's just all kind of different situations, and you're smart enough to think about it and make a decision looking at, you know, I mean, to analyze the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always, well, what if I this, what if I that, you know, you just never know. It's just, you know, and everybody says, well, I don't want to dick with rentals. You know, a lot of the times you don't even have to think about it. You know, it's being a landlord, when it's good, it's good. Sometimes it's not good, but you know, I don't know. It's just part of it. You know, the whole, like Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about, I don't want to be fixing toilets. Like, oh, would you rather be fixing toilets and retire in your 50s, or not fix toilets and work till you're 70? Obviously, that's not.
Sure.
But anyway, so was that one of yours, or you just?
No, I was just
you
expanding
just,
on yours.
Devil's advocating. Okay, that's fine. We're having a discussion here. I like that.
So, all right.
Talking on the internet.
All right. So, my next rule of thumb, just thought of that, just like you said.
That's what I was hoping. Prime the pump.
I'm trying to put this into words. It is, money is easy to get when you have it.
Yeah,
so,
it's like credit and pussy and everything.
So, exactly.
You gotta have some of it to get more of it.
So, talking about these mortgages and stuff, I talked to several different banks about getting a building loan to build this house, and the way that I understand it, now if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is, you submit your house plans and they appraise it and say it is worth X number of dollars. We will loan you that much money to build it, because after it's done being built, you make interest only payments on the money. Once it's done being built, then you roll that amount into a traditional mortgage. That's the way I understand it. So I asked several different banks what it would cost to get the building loan. And I talked to the bank that I bank at for my checking and savings, Dietrich, and they quoted me a really good rate. And I've since learned that they do a lot of that type of loan, and they have a competitive rate because they want that loan. Then Amanda's bank that she has worked at for 12 years was like a whole point higher. And she was like, I don't want to go bank somewhere else, but I will for a point, you know, and they're going to work with us. They're going to match Dietrich, which is great. But then I talked to a credit union, because everyone says they have better rates, and they were half. Their rates were half of Dietrich Bank. I'm like, oh man, let's explore this, you know. And she said, yeah, great. Do you own the property? So no, not yet. She said, can you write a check for the property? I was like, yeah, but it would drain every dollar, like everything we got saved to buy the property, and then we would need the building loan to build, you know. And she's like, okay, well, here's how it works. We will loan you the money to build whatever you want to build if you own the property. Okay, so, and all property is different. You can get a property for $5,000, you can get a property for $100,000. You know what I mean? It just it depends. But like, let's just pretend this particular property was $50,000, and I could just stroke a check for that property, or it was family property or whatever. Okay, sounds good. How expensive of a house are you wanting to build? Like, I have been quoted anywhere from here to here. Like, okay, so let's just, for easy math, say $200,000 to build a small house. Okay, so you would have to have the $50,000 in cash to buy the property. Then you want a loan for $200,000? Yep, sure do. Okay, so we require 20% down on the money we're gonna loan you. So that's $40,000. So we're at $90,000. And then when they start writing checks to your contractors, they use your money first before they give you any of their money. So, like, oh, okay, so I got to have $90,000 to even consider this project. I don't. Like, so I'm sorry, I can't use your services. And it was just, I understood it. It didn't upset me at all. Like, but it just goes to show, like, if you got money, life is that much smoother for you. So the rich get richer, but not like in a nasty way, but like, let's just say, Marty Jansen, for instance, he he owns all kind of property, I'm sure, but like, whereas grandma and grandpa used to live out there on North 45, I'm sure it's all in his name or his dad's name, doesn't matter, but he's got whatever 20, 30 acres out there, and he's got tons of money in the bank. I know he does. And he wants to build the Taj Mahal of houses, $1 million house. So he asked Land and Lincoln Credit Union, can I have $1 million? They're like, do you own the property? Yep. Okay, we just need 20% down. So he just writes him a check for $200,000, and they'll give him $1 million to build this house at half of every other bank's interest rate. Like that just goes to show, like, once you have it, it's easier to get.
Yeah. Just like credit and
Pussy.
yeah, exactly. It's true.
It is. So, rule of thumb, once you have it, it's easy to get.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. I like it. All right. Wheel bearings.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm putting wheel bearings in, you pack the grease. I pack it in my hand. My father-in-law kind of showed me how. Put a bunch of grease in your hand and pack it. Heck, I should have brought a bearing. We could have just done a little tutorial here.
Shown on the podcast, on the video.
So you stick it in there and you tighten the spindle nut down almost until it's completely tight, and then back it off a quarter turn, adjust where your cotter pin is, you're done. So is that how you do a trailer bearing, or how do you'll maybe spin it a little bit?
So that's pretty much how I do trailer bearings, but the last few trailer bearings I've done, the castle nut is a 6 point, for lack of a better term, instead of a 12 point. So this position is too tight for sure. But then you back it off one cotter hole, and it's like, it's kind of loose.
Pretty loose.
But I would rather it run loose and cool than tight and hot.
Which is great. That's my next one. I appreciate that. Well, not really my next one, but it's on my list.
Okay.
So Nate Milbacher is my friend. He builds pulling tractor heads. One time he built a head for a high-end name that they build motors, but he just does the head. So the valves and the guides were on the loose end of the tolerance. So they call him, they're like, hey, these are on the loose end of the tolerance after we run it, blah, blah, blah. He's like, listen, if these valves are too loose, only you will know. If the valves are too tight, everybody will know.
I am seriously recalling a trip to St. Louis with a 351 Cleveland and a 65 Mustang.
Exactly.
Everybody knew that your valves were on the tight end of the clearance.
Exactly. So, and that is true with a lot of things.
Right.
So, you're putting a door in. Better that door, on your front door of your house, better just be a little bit too loose than a little bit too tight.
Right.
If a little bit too loose, it still works.
That's
A little bit too tight, it don't work at all. So I remember we built a door for one of our hunting blinds, and me and Ryan got it just tight, perfect. And his dad's like, if that gets wet a little bit, that door's not going to open at all. And so he's like, you boys want stuff too tight. And we took a circular saw and cut like a 1/4 inch off the bottom of it. Probably the best thing we did. Stuff like that.
It is interesting when Cody and I were doing like trailers and stuff. Like he's no shade against Cody, but he's not very analytical when it comes to measuring. Okay, it's 19 and 3 little lines. Like, you got to make sure you have the same tape measure as Boss Man. So when he would measure a piece of wood or a gap and he'd say, I need it 19 and 3/4. Well, I'm a machinist, so I made it dead nuts. And we were weeks getting on the same wavelength because it would be too tight. It wouldn't fit. And he's like, well, it's actually a couple lines under 3/4. I was like, so it's like 11/16 or it's like 19 and a half.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking here? And so we're arguing back and forth. And then the expert, Chad Jones, shows up and he just shakes it. Boys, what the hell are you doing? And I will never forget to the day I die. We were building that white toy hauler that I ended up selling to Kyle. And we built the wall between the garage and the living. And Cody and I were arguing back and forth. We're cutting wood. We're scrapping wood. We're trying to build this wall, like just getting started. And Chad walks in. What are you doing? Like, we're trying to build this wall. He goes, boys, get the hell out of the way. And like, it felt like 30 seconds, but legitimately 15 minutes. He had the whole wall built. And he just like stretched his tape measure out, cut, screwed, and like the wall was built. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something to the effect of that your framing does not have to be perfect. That's what trim's for. Trim covers all the frame. Like,
Yes.
you're never going to see the studs. Once you put the studs in, you don't have to have them perfect. Just get them in there. And like that just, and then Cody brought up, he said, the most alcoholic, drug addicted kids you went to school with, they're all fucking carpenters and contractors now. Like, you don't have to be real precise because you know they aren't. So.
That's right. Yeah, and see, when I built barns, I feel like it's a little different. They would say, keep the line or take the line.
Right.
Is when I was building barns, so there wasn't no close enough that I can remember. At least that was 20 years ago.
Right.
Which is crazy to say out loud. You can set the coil gap on a chainsaw with a business card. And you can set your points with a business card too.
Yep. That's a
Was that like 14, 16 thousandths or something?
somewhere right in there. Yep.
So I do know, being a guy that sells business cards, you can buy them. So there was always 14 point and 16 point. And I never really knew what that really meant, honestly. And I looked up one day, 14,000 thick, 16,000 thick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, the ones you sold to Wilson Pallet, those are a little thicker.
yeah,
You want to talk about those?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What? They gave me one of the business cards and I sent it to you in a Snapchat. Like, look at this badass business card. You're like, yeah, I sold it to him.
Oh, that must have been a long time ago. Was that recently?
No, it was like 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, that'd be like, do you remember that socket you sold to Wilson Pallet? No, you don't.
Well, the reason I thought you would remember is because I don't think you probably have ever sold them to anybody else. It's that unique. It's like plywood. Like the business card is wood, like plywood.
Okay.
How many wood business cards have you sold?
Probably just those.
Okay, and that's why I figured like you would remember that. But anyway, continue.
Okay. Going with the Borfield. I think it's your turn.
Okay. I don't have that many, so we'll run out quickly.
Okay.
But,
Well, you can feed off of mine. You'll
Okay.
think of things.
you find lost items soon after replacing them. And I don't know if this is true for you, but it's true for me. Like, if I can't, like, for instance, these memory cards. If I just got pissed off and I ordered 2 or 3 off of Amazon, I would walk upstairs and there'd be 3 sitting on my dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time in tool sales, I lost my 10 millimeter, so they buy another one, or screwdriver, so they buy another one. And the next week, hey, I found that screwdriver. It was in the passenger seat of that car I worked on last week. And it happens more frequently than I care to admit in my own
Not a
mind.
coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost a joke now, like,
Better buy it so I can find it.
exactly. Like, oh, what are you buying? Oh, I had to buy a new apparatus. Like, oh, what? Well, I lost my last one. I was like, well, you're gonna find it now. Oh yeah, I know. I'm probably gonna find it now. So
I would say, on a very, very, very related note, you will need something shortly after you throw it away.
oh, absolutely. That's a given.
I found that out. You know, I used to have my parents, my mom and dad's attic at their house was so full of Jeep parts that it was sagging the ceiling
Mm-hmm.
and cracking the drywall.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided one day, I was like, I'm purging all this shit. I'm not going to need it. And ended up needing a statistically significant amount of stuff I threw away, it seemed like.
Yeah,
It all falls under the not worth selling, but it's too good to throw away,
right.
which is a lot of stuff in my life.
I that's happened several times. Like, I'll pull OMK and clean the shed, and I'll throw out all kind of shit, and like it seems like the very next freaking week I needed all the shit that I just threw away.
Yeah, and I was a 2XL person for most of my life,
Yeah.
size clothes, and I've been 1XL or 1X for probably about 2 years now.
Yep.
And so I'm getting rid of all my 2X stuff. So I just brought it to Silk Purse and donated it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a month later, one of our friends is helping a guy out, needs 2XL clothing. I was like, I've got it. I'll give him all mine. I went through my closet. I didn't hardly have anything. And I was like, man, I just donated tubs of 2XL stuff.
I did the same thing just several weeks ago myself. So that's
bad timing.
bad timing.
Should have asked all their fat friends earlier. If you're bending roll cage tubing or any kind of tubing, if you're bending it, if it has a seam, so if it's hot rolled with a welded seam, put the welded seam on the inside of the bend. And on a similar related note, when you're notching tube, go a little bit at a time, because you can always, one guy said on YouTube or some one time to sneak up on it.
Okay.
Because, you fit it and man, that's too tight. So you just, blow 3/8 of an inch out of there with your next notch, and it's a 1/4 inch too short.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you see those videos all the time where dudes are doing trim. It's just a little bit too tight, so they just nick it with a saw blade and they go back and it's a foot short.
Or like back it up to a trailer.
Yes.
That happened to me the other day. I was backing up to my trailer, and I know why it happened, but I would just flash back to that. But like, you pull forward an inch, and then like they look back and they're like 30 foot from the trailer.
Yes, exactly.
It took me like 6 tries to get, because like I was lined up in line perfectly, but I put it in reverse and just inched and then put it in park. Well, when on a Dodge, it rocks back like 10 foot, and like then I had to pull forward and then I had to pull back. It was like, God damn it.
I was having Wyatt hook me up to a trailer one time, and and his directions are terrible.
Right.
Just a little bit more like. And anyway, so I went back. He goes, "Stop! That's perfect right there." So I was like, "Okay." So I put it in park and let my foot off the brake. He freaks out on me. "I told you it was good right there. Why did you move?" I said, "Well, it just rolls when you put it in park." Like,
why didn't you crank the landing gear down?
Exactly. Oh shoot. When sharpening lawnmower blades, I don't make them razor sharp.
Okay.
I'll make them razor sharp and then run my grinder down them real quick on the front to dull them just a little bit.
Yeah.
So they hold edge better.
Yeah.
You do that? No. You
No.
just buy new
I
ones.
just buy new blades.
Fair.
Yep. Although this new mower I got has 2 lawnmower blades.
Is it a push mower?
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah. But they're stacked. They're not like side by side.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't priced them yet, but I assume they're pricey because it's a Honda.
Yeah, well, it'll last twice as long. So
I mean,
maybe. I don't know. This is a good one. If you're buying a Toyota Tacoma or a Jeep Wrangler TJ, check the frame
Or YJ.
twice.
Yeah.
For rust.
Yep.
Twice. If a chainsaw can hold itself up if you could hold a chainsaw by the pull cord, it's got good compression.
Sure.
And not fall.
Sure.
So like if you go to buy a chainsaw, or I assume any other outdoor power thing, if you can hold it up.
You cannot hold that BR800 by the pull cord.
No, you can't. Compression's trash on it. It's got like some ratcheting start. You like
Easy
wind
start.
it up, you like jack it, and wow.
It works good.
Um,
Super handy.
treat every gun like it's loaded.
Okay.
The first person to speak in a negotiation loses.
Yes. That's true for almost anything, for
Yeah.
sure.
I learned that on the book Never Split the Difference. It's by an
Okay.
FBI negotiator.
Okay.
And I realized after reading that how uncomfortable I was with silence.
Right.
And if you can kind of get a little more comfortable with silence, especially if you're in a sales job, you just be quiet on the phone. And there'd be so many times I'll just be quiet. And like it'll get to 30, 40 seconds and everybody's quiet. And they're just like, all right, get it coming, you
He
know?
who speaks first loses.
Yes.
I think that's a Zig Ziglar quote.
Did you ever read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People?
No.
I think that's by Dale Carnegie.
No.
Basically, in conclusion, my wife was ranting about something the other day, and I don't even remember what it was about, but I said, everybody just wants to feel unique and special because someone was doing something that didn't really make any sense, but it's kind of, they're using it to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, people just want to be unique and noticed. And so they'll, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like you talking the other day, people who dye their hair blue.
Right.
They're not extraordinary in physical parts of their life or, you know, mental or intellectual parts of their life. So they got to do something to be unique.
To differentiate
Everybody
themselves.
wants to be unique.
Yeah.
So I told my wife, I was like, have you read that? Because it's on our Audible. And she's like, no, why would I read that? And I'm just like, okay. It's written in like the 1920s. So it's like all the examples are super old school, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you should listen to it. I think you would like it. It's like,
What's it called?
How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think it's by Dale Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie. One of the Carnegies. But you know, like the examples are so like, if you bring your coal that you're trying to sell to the steel mill, you know what I mean? It's just
Okay.
like, yeah. If you're, yeah, it's just listen to it. You'll get it when you need to. Which is why it's saying that now, when I really appreciate it.
What's he say?
You'll get it when you need to.
Oh.
He'll tell a joke that doesn't make sense. Like, why that doesn't make sense. He goes, you'll get it when you need to. Okay, here's a good one. I won't even, I'm going to ask you about your rule of thumb. How much speed over the speed limit? What's your rule of thumb on breaking the speed limit?
So it's interesting because I believe 9 you're fine, 10 you're mine, but I'm OCD and I have to have my speed set on an even number.
Mm-hmm.
So on the interstate, it's 80.
Okay.
I don't do 81 unless, we won't even go there. So we will go there. Short story long. Okay. So speed limit 70. I do 80. 79 is fine. 80 is questionable, but 80 looks better when I'm looking at the dash than 79 because I'm OCD. But if I get past, I hit accelerate one time. If I get past again, I hit accelerate again. So every time I get past, I accelerate one more time. And so like on the trip to St. Louis, like I can get up to 86, 87 mile an hour on the way to St. Louis, unless there's somebody in the passenger seat that's being a bitch.
Okay.
That's not exclusive to any one person, because I do recall you being in the fucking passenger seat and sending my fucking fiance, I'm scared for my life, Snapchat. And she's like, I know, he's the worst driver on the planet. I don't know how he hasn't died 17,000 times a day.
Bro, you drive so close to the back of people, especially if they pass you and get in front of you and slow down. You're just like, I want you to feel the heat off of my engine.
I can't deny that. When I had my
But then you're 17 inches away from the vehicle in front of you and you're texting. Scares the shit out of me. Not to mention,
Did you die? Did you die?
no, but we flipped. Dude, Did we talk about that?
Oh.
So we went to Windrock razor riding, which we haven't been razor riding down Windrock for like
A couple years.
2.5 years
Yeah.
or something crazy. So Walden's Ridge is a very, very popular trail, and we like to run it when we're there. And the entry or the exit or one of the ways in and out of it, it's a public road. And it's very windy, and if you've ever been in the mountains in Tennessee, it is a straight drop off to infinity off the side of these roads. So 2.5 years ago when I rode with Sam, he was like drifting around these roads, going what I felt like pretty fast, scared the shit out of me. So then 2.5 years later, I'm riding with Sam again, and we're on this road again, and he was being pretty reasonable, but I felt like the people in front of us were driving like idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Sam, I said, hey, just to let you know, last time we were on this road, you scared the shit out of me. I'd prefer if you just we'll just cruise down this. Because, both of our women in our life told us don't do anything stupid.
Did I say that out loud, or was I thinking?
I think you said it out loud.
Because I was like, Amanda did tell me not to drive like an idiot and to be safe and don't flip and blah, 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 blah. And literally 2 seconds later.
So I told Sam, I was like, I'd prefer you just take it easy and let's just cruise. Well, if you know anything about being friends with guys, that's the wrong thing to say. Because almost immediately we're upside down.
So going straight, I was taking it easy. And then I'd enter the turn, I'd blip the throttle and just cat-ass it sideways.
Yeah, you gotta accelerate through the apex.
And it was not a big deal until it went from gravel to pavement and the traction changed and it just flipped.
So if you do what did you call like a
pirouette.
Oh, what?
A pirouette.
Okay, Google that.
It's when you do this.
Okay. Well, yeah, we kind of like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're like upside down, and like as we're flipping, I'm just laughing. I'm like, great. I've never flipped anything.
Really?
So, no.
I flipped all kind of shit.
So mostly you just flip your shit by flipping out. So we're going around this turn, and Sam gooses it, and it catches traction, and we roll on the side to go up on the front bumper and flip over. So we roll on the passenger side and end up smashing his front bumper and ending up on the driver's side.
Yep.
So then we're just sitting there on the road. We were last in line, we're tail gunner, and we're just sitting there. And it felt like a minute. It was probably 10 seconds, but we're just sitting there. Sam reaches up, turns the ignition off, and we're just sitting there hanging by our belts. And I was like, well, I guess we'll let them know we flipped. So I hit the comms button and said, yeah, Mayday, we flipped over. And I felt like those guys were on the NHRA safety team.
Yeah.
I feel like it was 10 seconds that Josh Stork was already back.
Yeah.
And
I had just stood up. I wasn't out of the razor. I had just stood up.
And like your phone ended up down the road somehow.
Yeah,
and
I don't know how I found it, or somebody found it.
Josh found it.
Okay.
And it was calling 911 when he picked it up.
Oh, that's right. It was.
Yeah, he's like, you want me to cancel this? Like, yeah, we probably better do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of iPhone safety feature that is. But your phone knew we flipped. And then the hillbillies.
You said thanks for this.
Yeah, we never flipped before. It's a great story. We wouldn't even be we'd be talking about wheel bearings right now. So yeah, that was the first time I've flipped over in a vehicle. Felt, just grab it and just hold on, and I feel like a little sore after that, but I don't know if it was from just the riding in general or the flip. You know what I mean?
I think it was just the riding in general.
But yeah, we flipped it back over, and then Cody takes a Snapchat of it on his side and puts it on his story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess I better at least give my wife a heads up in case she sees it, know. And she's like, yeah, I don't care, whatever. Like, I texted her, she's like, whatever. So then somehow she's seen a picture of it or something. She's like, Jesus Christ! So I was like, I told you.
Yeah, my wife's seen it, and she was less than impressed.
She's like, why are you guys being idiots? Like, weren't even in the scale of stupid shit you can do. It was pretty low.
On the spectrum of stupid shit we did that weekend, it was pretty low.
Dude, road riding down there makes me the most nervous. All those blind corners and hills, and
it's a trip for sure.
Because I assume that a Razor doesn't really have that much crumple zones and such.
And it's the way the suspension loads and unloads and shifts. It's you can't predict it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so flipped over. I don't know even what got us into that, but
that was one of your rules of thumb.
We should have done a video like, let me show you how I flip razors. And then the first razor I flipped.
Oh gosh.
Oh shoot. Yeah, it was great. It wasn't my expensive razor that got all fucked up. So I mean, we wheeled it the rest of the weekend. It was in general fine.
And the biggest damage was the cabin closure on your side. So
like money wise, you mean, or
money wise, I don't fucking know. I mean, the razor's been totaled several times. So who fucking
did you ever go get that? Or is it still at Cody's
roll
possession?
cage?
No, the whole rig.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's at Cherry Street.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I now always torque lug nuts with a hand torque wrench.
Okay.
Because I've lost two tires off of Jeeps. One off my black YJ, which I didn't even put on.
Right. Wrong wheel, Jesus.
Yeah. And my dad's Jeep lost a wheel. And I feel like I've had some other wheels come loose and stuff, so I always put a torque wrench on lug nuts.
Okay.
Do you, or you just hug it and call it good?
It depends on the lug nut.
Okay.
My Jeep, yes. No. My Grand Cherokee, yes. My GTX, my Dart, yes. Amanda's 442, yes. My trailer, no. I just, with a Milwaukee Impact, spin it till it stops spinning.
Okay. 10-4?
You know it's tight.
There you go. On what number? 2? 1? 3? Wow.
Yeah.
God.
And I don't.
I want
a
relationship as strong as the half-inch wheel studs on your trailer.
This isn't a rule of thumb, but you can tell when the hammers change tone on an impact. When it's, and I don't know what's actually physically happening with the hammers, but I assume if you've ever seen the inside of an impact, the way the hammers rotate on the anvil, I assume it goes from sequential to reverberating, if that makes any sense. So we're like, as it's spinning, it's hammer, hammer, spin, hammer, hammer, spin, hammer, hammer, spin. And then when it gets tight, the hammers stop spinning and they bounce on the anvil. And you can tell that it's a different tone. And if it's an impact you've used a lot, you know about where it's torqued at. So like my little Snap-on 3/8 impact, I know about where it's torquing stuff, not on lug nuts, you know. And then like my Snap-on half-inch impact, you can tell it's an extremely noticeable sound when it changes, and you know it's good. And then I've checked it with a torque wrench, just like click, yep, it's good. It's a little over good. It's fine. But on stuff with aluminum wheels, I torque it basically.
Okay, that makes sense. What's your rule of thumb on torque? Do you look it up per vehicle, or do you just have a rule of thumb on size?
It's based on lug size. So half-inch lug on like Amanda's car, my car, 100 foot-pounds. On a 9/16 stud, like on my pickup truck, 120.
Okay, I do 135 on my truck. Yeah, 100 on half-inch.
And it's interesting if you ever do look up the torque specs, like 86 foot, and I assume it's in Newton meters or something like, oh, well, this vehicle takes 86. Like, there's a BMW out there with a 12 millimeter lug stud that needs 136 foot pounds. Like,
Ooh.
what in the fuck? Like, why?
That wheel ain't coming off.
I guess not.
My trailer tires.
Mm-hmm.
I always run 65 psi in my trailer tires.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that could be an argument with a bunch of people.
I don't check the air in my tires regularly. I just kick them, and if they go boom, then I know they're good.
But if they go boom,
Then it needs air. It needs air.
okay.
But
If it needs air, what do you air it up to?
depending on what I'm hauling,
Okay.
on my car trailer, that is a 7,000 pound car trailer, it's 60 to 70 depending on.
And see, my father-in-law, I feel like he puts like 80 or 90 or something crazy in, and he's blowing tires all the time.
Now,
Yeah.
when it was on my toy hauler, 85.
Okay.
And then and the reason it was 80, they're rated for 110. And when they get hot, they warm up to 100 psi.
Okay.
That's why I did 85. But on something super heavy, you can tell a huge difference in towing when you change the tire pressure on the trailer. Big difference. Like going from 65 to 85 changes the whole dynamic of pulling that trailer.
Okay. I assume it rolls better.
It rolls better and it doesn't wiggle, doesn't sway nearly as bad.
Okay. Well, I don't haul that much heavy stuff like my Jeep. Well, our tractor, but we haul it 15 miles.
Right.
So. If you borrow something more than 3 times, you need to own it.
Absolutely.
I got that from James Feldick because I told him, like, he did some machining for me. And I was like, man, I really appreciate it. He's like, oh, that's fine. I was like, basically, like, I probably need to give me one of these. Nope, not till you need it 3 times. If you have to use something 3 times, then you need to own it. And on a very similar note, my wife's family, when we started dating in high school, they had a rule: if you've been to their house more than 3 times, you're no longer a guest.
Okay.
So
What are you?
I don't know, just family at that point. I don't know, but like,
Fair enough.
you're helping clean up dishes and
Oh, I got you.
and
I
all
got
that
you.
or whichever
You're
else.
not exempt from the chores.
Yeah, well, they're just not waiting on you hand and foot,
Okay.
So, yeah, that was the big thing. I didn't mind. I always had fun. I have on here Dave Ramsey rules of thumb, which I don't know if we want to get into or not, but like some of his, like, your house should be what, 3 years income or something. You should never have how much.
You're on a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. Your mortgage payment should be no more than 25% of your take home pay.
Okay, what does he say about cars?
Things with wheels and motors add up everything, and it should be less than half of your annual income. But there's a caveat, because that rule of thumb from Dave Ramsey is for depreciating assets.
Mm-hmm.
Boats, cars, newer cars, side-by-sides, things like that go down in value. And that, like, my Jeep parked in the driveway goes down in value. My side-by-side goes down in value. Up until recently, I have prided myself on buying fully depreciated vehicles.
So there's a whole, like, Facebook page out there called Fully Depreciated Still in Use, and you can buy, like, hats and bumper stickers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, like, my white Dodge, fully depreciated.
Fully depreciated. Possibly appreciating.
Possibly. But my classic cars are appreciating, so they don't count in the half of your annual income rule of thumb from Dave Ramsey.
I was sitting there deer hunting the other day, and I really want an old truck again. And what?
No,
The kids love it. Laren asked White the other day. He goes, she said, "Why? What do you want your first car to be?" He goes, "I want it to be like one of them old rusty trucks like Dad had.
Yeah.
And dude, the kids love that thing. We sat four wide in the front of that and drove the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, I was like, man, I need to find me one of those. But I was wondering, I was like, when does my 2008 become vintage and cool? And I figured I've got about 15 more years.
I would say so. The state of Illinois would say 25 years.
Okay.
However, I do not consider a 2000 vehicle to be vintage or classic. I think it is expanding as time goes on because in 1969, if your car had 50,000 miles, it was trash, like literally garbage, scrap metal. In 2025, if your car has less than 200,000, that's mint, that's cherry.
Yeah, that's brand new.
Yeah. So I think it has to stretch some. And you can tell by the market, right? So, which is influenced by many, many factors. But like 10 years ago, a Buick, like a Pontiac Grand Am or a Buick Park Avenue with a 3800 was a $300 car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now the late 90s, early to late 90s, like middle to late 90s, low mileage, clean sedans are bringing outrageous money, like absolutely stupid money. So I think you kind of got to watch the market. Like once your like your truck is fully depreciated, which I don't think it is, like mileage excluded, like comparable trucks to yours with less than 200,000 miles. Once they finish depreciating, I think it's probably 5 to 10 years after that when it becomes a classic. Does that make sense?
Or it starts appreciating.
Right.
Yeah. And my truck is a special deal because it's got a rebuild title, which kills it for most people. So my truck's worth $8,000, and you can never, ever, ever replace that truck for $8,000.
Which is why I haven't sold my side by side, because it's worth $10,000 to $12,000. I don't even want to know how much money I have in it. But if someone walked in here right now and handed me $12,000 for it, I couldn't take that $12,000 and replace
And
what
go
that
buy
machine
another
does.
one of those. Yeah.
So
how's that work? Why is it always like that? And why is it one of those, like when you're selling something, the prices are like nothing, but then when you're going to buy the same thing, they're $1 bazillion.
I just assume that's my luck. So I had that 2002 Dodge single cab long bed, 24 valve, 6-speed, 4-wheel drive. I bought it for $4,000, put a motor in it, sold it for $14,000. Thought, I just raped that guy. I will never in my life get more than $14,000 out of this truck. That was 2019. COVID happened. In 2020, Luke Anderson, the guy I sold it to, now he was, so the reason I thought I'd never get more, it was his old truck, like from way back, like in high school. And he didn't want to sell it, but I talked him into selling it to me, and he bought it back because he's nostalgic about it. Like,
Yeah.
no wonder he's giving me for it. I guess it's sentimental. He got offered $24,000 for that truck in 2020.
Damn. Did he take it or he kept?
No, he didn't sold it. He still got it. As far as I know, he still got it. But like, I was like, sold it a year too early. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, but
You never know.
that's just my luck. So,
some listener submissions. Rebecca, she said, you get what you pay for. It's one of her rules of thumbs. You play dumb games, you win dumb prizes.
play stupid game. That's yours. Play
Yeah.
stupid games,
Well,
win
I got
stupid
that
prizes.
from, that was, I picked that up during the George Floyd thing.
Okay.
Because, he was, whatever he was doing, acting a fool, whichever, whether he deserved to be killed or not is not the point. But, you start fucking around, you play a stupid game, you might win a stupid prize,
Right.
which is getting shot.
Fuck around, find out.
Yes, essentially. then plan preventative maintenance, or it'll be planned for you. And
so the quote that I was told is, if you don't plan the maintenance on your equipment will
plan it for you.
Yeah.
Another listener submission is from Jeremy Kyle. Don't ever look at the cam bearings on an LS.
Don't ever look.
Don't look.
Just slap the cam in it. I was going somewhere with that last one, but anyway, continue.
Preventative maintenance plans for you.
Nick McCormick says, if you don't have time to do it right the first time, how the hell do you think you have time to do it twice?
Yes.
So like cutting corners, like you're going to have to do it over if you cut the wrong corners. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
the only other one is I've got kind of this may be stupid for a podcast, but when I set up a ring and pinion, I watched a video one time that probably oversimplified setting up a ring and pinion, but it just was like, hello. So your side to side can only be where your backlash is within spec. Like there's not a whole bunch of mystery there. Like you set your side to side, you add a shim or your adjusters until you get your backlash in spec. Check the pattern, and your pattern moves corner to corner on your gear. So whether you move your pinion in or out, it'll move corner to corner. So you don't, like, if you're shallow or deep or whatever on your gear, you just keep in mind it moves from one corner to the other. I don't exactly know which direction at this point, but anyway, if you're deep or shallow, you can still adjust that with your pinion depth. So basically you just kind of set your preload to where it needs to be, check your thing, and just adjust your pinion depth a little bit, and you're good. So then that's fine for you if you're setting up a ring and pinion. But if you're just taking one out that was already in the vehicle, you just leave your pinion depth where it's at. That's just set. It's there. You don't worry about it.
Because it has more to do with that specific gear and that specific housing than the gear to gear.
So then the only thing you have to worry about, like when I put carrier bearings on my wife's Cherokee. So if you've got a vehicle with adjusters, like a Ford 9-inch or a Chrysler 8 1/4 that's adjusters, you adjust it and you smash the ring gear into the pinion with one side. And then you go to your other side and start tightening it and pushing it back the other way until you get your backlash where you want it. And in the process, you will preload your bearings. And that's how I did it on that, and how I do it on the 9-inch I set up and everything else. So it's probably just the video I watched. You know, there's all these videos, people, hours and hour long video how to set up gears, and this guy's like, I'll tell you how to do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And when he explained it, it was like
flicking the light switch.
Yeah, like a ballpoint pen salesman is now set up ring and pinion gears.
Right.
So, yeah, that's about it. I had a couple other gun ones, but I'm not going to get into. So, I'm trying to think if I have any other TIG welding. Whenever you're TIG welding, your amps is set to how thick the material is. So if you've got an 1/8-inch thick piece of material, you set your amps at 125.
Okay.
If you're welding 1/16 of an inch, you set it at what, 63?
Sure.
Approximately.
Yeah. 1/4 inch is 250.
Yeah. Well, then that doesn't really like.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get out there, you know, I probably not. But anyway, trying to think of anything else. I don't know. Torque stuff and the star, or what do you do on torque? Do you have, so say you're torquing something to 100 foot-pounds. Do you do 3 steps, 2 steps, torque it all at once, or does it just depend?
On wheels, I run in with the impact and then I go in a circle to torque it. But when I'm running with the impact, I star on the impact.
That's how I do it. Yeah. Star on the impact and in a circle with the Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. That's really all I got. I haven't added to that for a while, but those are kind of off the top of my head.
I've got things will always go wrong when you're in a hurry.
That's true.
So when you're rushing out the door, your coat snags on the door handle, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I don't know if it's you just notice it more because it pisses you off, but it seems like, especially in the Snap-on world, I could have nothing planned, and like stuff just flows, and I get done an hour early. Like, what the hell happened? But when I got to be done early because I got an appointment or I got to go sell a fucking PT Cruiser to some Mexican, like everything stops you, everything slows you down, everything's a problem, everything gets fucked up
Mm-hmm.
because you're in a hurry.
Yeah, I agree. Dude, I tell you what just makes my blood boil is I always wear button-up shirts for work, and only when I'm having a bad day does my button-up shirt get caught on the knob on the drawer in front of the kitchen sink. And
Okay.
that thing's like bent sideways. I've been caught on it so much, and it only happens to me when I'm right at the fucking end of my rope.
Right.
And dude, talk about just absolutely just setting me off.
Rage
If
mode.
it just the damn knob gets stuck in my shirt and you try to walk away and it rips your shirt or something, and it's just like, oh my god, I'm getting mad thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I have never buy the first of anything.
okay. Like,
Never buy the first
You're-
one.
never buy the first one you look at, never buy the first one they put out for sale, or
Both.
Okay.
Everything. So primarily case study, Chrysler products
mm,
and Milwaukee products.
and Ford diesels.
Okay. So Chrysler products ever. I own a 2005 Dodge Ram. It's the first year of the common rail motor. It's a problem. The motor's okay, but it's a problem because everything's just a little different. And Chrysler is really bad about, we got this new motor, we got this new setup, we got this new truck, we got this new whatever. And then they're like, oh shit, we didn't fucking put enough research into this and some shit's fucked up. So the very next year, everything's better. So
Yeah.
every Jeep I've ever owned, if it was a first year Jeep, it's like there's just something small that's just irritatingly off.
Like 1996 Cherokees.
No, that's a last year. It's a split year, but it's the last year, right?
Well, it's like the first.
OBD2.
Also. Yeah. It's like a mix. Yeah.
But yeah. So, but like WJs, don't ever buy a WJ, period. But a 99 is worse than a fucking 2001
because
or
they
whatever.
got like the brakes that warp on them and all that. Yeah. And the Chrysler minivans are the same way. The first year they came out with the 3.6, they had valve train problems and warped heads, and the valve seats would collapse, exhaust valve seats would push into the head, and it was just a disaster.
And then Milwaukee, almost everything. It's not been so bad lately, but for the longest time, they'd release a new tool, and everyone would be up like, "Oh, I gotta have it." And then the one thing that sticks out big time to me is the long amble 1-inch impact. It was gonna be this huge thing. So I sold like 3 or 4 of them, and they all fucking sucked. I sent every single one of them in multiple times. Just fucking trash. Like the 1/2 inch had more power. Well, they had a revision. They changed something about it, and now they're phenomenal. They're the best fucking thing since sliced bread. But that's just one example. Like a lot of their tools, even if it's not the first example, they modify it and they come out like the leaf blower. They come out with a new one and discontinue the old one, and the angle grinder, they discontinue the old one and come out with a new one. But if there's something brand new, don't fucking buy it. Tesla, the first fucking Cybertrucks, they fucking, guess what? Caught the fuck on fire. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
My buddy Ryan, his dad bought a 2003 and a half Ford Power Stroke 6.0.
Okay.
By 80,000 miles, they were talking about getting a lawyer to get it lemon lawed.
Oh my God.
Then they come out with the 6.4 Power Stroke. So his dad goes out and buys the first one the dealer gets on the lot. At 30,000 miles, the cab was already off the truck and they were working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan's like, I told you, Dad, stop buying Ford diesels the first year they come out.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So
That's a big
but
thing.
thankfully, Ford put shitty motors in their pickup trucks because then all the Jeep guys get axle donors.
Right. Right. And all my mechanics have a very lucrative career fixing all the junk Ford shit.
Yes. What day is it?
The last one I have is do unexpected things to get unexpected results.
Okay.
And I wrote down 2 examples. Saw a trip to Westfield and Charleston. And I remember Westfield and I'm thinking about Charleston. But so this was back when I was really hot and heavy into buying and selling chainsaws. And somebody posted several saws for sale for free. And I don't remember the specifics, but I left wherever I was at and drove an hour and a half to get to Westfield to get these free saws. And so far I have sold 0 of them, but I got inventory and I feel like it's decent inventory. Or no, I did sell a couple of them actually. I did sell a couple of them and they ran. But
Okay.
he didn't want. He got an electric one. He didn't want the gas ones. I sold one of them on eBay for $200 fucking dollars.
There you go.
The other one is a blue home light. That sidebar. A guy messaged me on eBay, wants me to ship it to Germany, and I'm like, I don't fucking want to do that.
Well, if he buys it through eBay will do all the.
I don't have it set up. That's U.S. only.
Oh well.
Oh, rule of thumb: don't offer free shipping on eBay.
There you go.
Learned my lesson on that. I bought some stuff to try and resell and make money. And I sold the last of a particular product today. And there was only 5. And 4 out of the 5 went to Puerto Rico. It cost $12. It was $20 item. Offered free shipping. eBay, after fees, is only $17 on a $20 item. And 11 of that goes to shipping it. So I get $6 proceeds and they cost me $7 to buy.
I've been hustling my whole life. But see, if you charge shipping, you don't get charged the fees on the shipping, and I actually somehow make money on shipping.
I think you got grandfathered into something.
Yeah.
But what I do now, and I don't know if I should even be sharing this. So if you're eBay in this podcast now, but like that 8-pound chainsaw, I say it weighs 35 fucking pounds. So eBay collects $70 in shipping on it. And then I change the fucking package details to fucking 13 pounds. And they charge the customer $70, but they only charge me $30 for the fucking label. So I make whatever, $30, $40 on the shipping.
And people do that all the time, and I've noticed that whenever I click sell one like this, it pulls in their shipping information, and it's like a 10-pound part for a garden tractor. They got in there as 65 pounds. It's like, well, this ain't right. You know what I mean? So that shit happens, and someone told me that people can't do math, so they just see the before shipping price, and that's what they buy on.
Well, you see it all the time, and it on larger items, it makes sense because, like, say I'm searching for a John Deere 400 hydraulic pump. 75 results on eBay. Well, I'm going to sort price lowest to highest. There's one for $20, $300 shipping.
Yes.
So I don't know.
That stuff's happened since
The dawn of time.
eBay came along.
Yeah.
I remember I bought a set of calipers when I first started reloading. It was the very first thing I bought on eBay was a set of calipers.
Mm-hmm.
99 cents. But it was like $35 shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway.
Turns out Dozer can't do math either.
Well, that was still cheaper with the shipping than other options.
Right,
So,
right.
But they didn't have to pay the fees. They paid the fees on 99 cents.
I never thought about it that way.
You're only paying the fees on the 99 cents.
That is so simple.
Yeah.
It's so elegant.
Yes. Been hustling my whole life.
And you can go and you can, instead of letting eBay dictate how much it is, you can just put a flat rate of shipping on there.
Mm-hmm.
You can say it is $100 to ship this, even if it's literally a ballpoint pen.
There you go. All right, what did we learn?
Well, I only had one thing wrote down.
Okay. Well, I got fuck video podcasts.
Yes.
Be careful what you ask for because you just might get a video podcast.
Right.
And if Sam had $1 billion, he would buy a TV for his basement.
Fair. That's a fair summary. Not all of the points are in that summary, but it is technically a summary.
There you
go. The only one I had wrote down is the autoplay function on Spotify equals podcast nostalgia.
Okay. Well, I guess give us some feedback. Do you guys like listening to this? Do you like watching it? Has anybody switched over to watching this, or you just listen to it? Should we keep doing the videos? Should we ship this video stuff back to Rebecca and tell her she can video her own podcast, or what should we do here?
I think when we end up moving this project, it'll be several years from now.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to get like a corner of the shed with like a couple old sofas,
Yeah.
and we are sitting next to each other, or like maybe kind of a corner, like a recliner sofa thing, and we got these on mic stands, and we're just reclined on the sofa, and then the video is of us just chilling on the sofa drinking beer.
I like that. We can give it a try.
But and
then we can have a TV that's up in the camera view that we can Google stuff, and like the Japanese airplane sites. We'll just Google that shit and pull it up.
Oh, and then we could be like, what's the MTV, the video show with Chanel West Coast where she laughs like a fucking hyena?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, you haven't seen the Rob Deerdeck? It's ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And the black guy, like, he has like the little scrolly thing. Have you ever seen the satire of that? Oh, dude, I gotta show you after this. It's
Okay.
fucking hilarious.
Okay. I've watched Ridiculousness though.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Did you know he filmed the whole year of Ridiculousness was filmed in one day?
That sounds awesome, really.
Yeah. So I mean, like the whole season. I
yeah.
shouldn't say year. The whole season is one day. He just changes outfits, does the whole thing, done.
And then just collects profit the rest of the year.
That's right.
All right.
He's like a pretty sharp business guy.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Well, guys, thanks for riding along with us. We will see you on the next one.
Will we?
Maybe.
This ain't the last one, I guess.
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Yep. See you guys.
See ya.